Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we're on the Legion Beta, and I'm going to be discussing, of course, the legendary items in this video that they've implemented into the game that we can test out. So what I'm going to do is go through each one of these, kind of explain what they're going to do. Not really going to talk about their base stats, mainly just focus on more of, just kind of the procs in the end. Because, I mean, some of them do some really insane things that are obviously going to change our DPS, defensives, and or help us out in maybe world PvP situations. But we're really going to have to see how that works out. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this. To give you guys a brief explanation about where you're going to end up finding these legendary items, they can literally drop anywhere at a very, very low drop chance. Now, guys, there's 8 legendary items for a Frost DK that you can pick up. I've kind of got them broken up here in my bag. As you can see, the ones on the right side I'm very excited for, and then the ones that are kind of in the down left-hand corner of the backpack, I'm not really as excited for. They do good things, but they're definitely not as strong as the other ones. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start off with some of the weaker ones first, and just kind of work my way over to the better ones. Alright, so let's see, what should we cover first? Let's go over the neck right here. It's kind of interesting. We'll go ahead and equip the neck while we're using it. So basically this ability, after not taking damage for 5 seconds, you gain an absorb shield for 15% of your maximum health. So if you got 1.5 mil, it gives you an absorb shield for about 2.7k or 270k. Which, it's not bad for PvE. It'll give you quite a bit of leeway when it comes to killing mobs and stuff, but as far as PvP wise goes, I wouldn't generally select this one out of the few to be definitely my choice of a legendary, because, we're a Frost DK, being that defensive isn't necessarily great for us. So let's go over these boots. Increase your movement speed by 75% of your haste. Now, I'm really curious about these boots. See, how much haste do we have? We only have 3% haste. If we had a lot higher haste on a Frost DK, I could definitely see these benefiting more. Let's go ahead and just kind of see this. Now, we'll be able to see the difference in movement speed. 1, 2. So it's about 2 and a fourth, I'd say, the distance between running between that door frame. We'll go ahead and equip these. Alright. 1, 2. So it takes like roughly about 0.4 seconds off that small run right there, which, running speed is quite strong when it comes to PvP and world PvP. If you cannot just simply outrun somebody, obviously you can outkite them. You can pull them behind your battleground raid. I mean, it actually becomes very effective. Of course, you're not going to be able to use these in battlegrounds and stuff, but world PvP might actually be pretty good for chasing down certain targets with these boots. Outside of that, though, it's kind of like just a passive movement speed, not really anything adding to your combat. So I wouldn't recommend using these boots as much either. Of course, if you find one of these items, it's the only one you have, obviously you're going to use it. But I don't recommend using that neck or the boots. They do have pretty cool little abilities on them, though. Alright, so talking about the ring. Now, this one actually is going to affect PvP quite a bit. I don't know how good it's going to be, especially compared to some of the other ones. It is a legendary ring, so you will be replacing your 795. Of course, I mean, you can only use one legendary, so, you're going to replace it anyways. But, of course, you'll probably replace that ring with one of these later on. So anyways, guys, so successfully applying a loss to control effects on an enemy grants 70% increased movement speed and 15% haste for 10 seconds. Now, this would definitely be a PvP affected item. Could also work in PvE, but I would have to say it's definitely going to come in PvP. Now let's see if we can actually get a movement and parry effect off on this training dummy. I'm not sure if we can or not. We may have to go to one of these ones. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Alright, so it looks like we're going to get the movement and parrying effect. I don't know if we're going to get stun off right here. Yeah, it looks like stun went off. So we got our movement increase. That's actually quite a bit of movement and quite a bit of haste. Now, if we're bursting with that going on, say we're breathing somebody and we got that extra sprint, that mobility could actually be very amazing for world PvP situations. Because nobody's going to expect a Frost DK to throw up stacks on somebody, stun them, throw out their major burst cooldowns, and take off like a bat out of hell, just running full speed, like it's a rogue sprint. Nobody is going to expect that. Can you imagine a Frost DK breath coming at you with rogue sprint? You're not getting away from it, especially when it lasts 50 seconds. So, I may have underestimated this ring a little bit when it comes to world PvP. That's definitely going to be something interesting. I wouldn't say it's stronger than the other ones as far as strength goes, but far as mechanics, mobility could be a really great item for affecting world PvP. So we're going to switch that back out. And last of the kind of iffy items, I think, is going to be this cloak piece. Now, this cloak piece is kind of cool. In world PvP, it's going to be kind of strong. And, of course, if you're doing quests and stuff and you have to fight something that casts, it could be a very, very strong cloak. Now, what this cloak does is increases the duration of your anti-magic shell by 100%. That's a long anti-magic shell. That's a very long anti-magic shell, especially if you're fighting casters. Like, that's annoyingly long. Let's go ahead and look at this. It's going to 10 seconds. So does that mean the anti-magic shell is going to last 20 seconds? 20 seconds. That is a very long anti-magic shell. All right, so let's just toss it up and take a look at it. No, it's only 10 seconds. What's going on here, guy? Does anti-magic shell only last normally 5 seconds? That would make sense. But I don't feel like this cloak is... Well, let's take this cloak off real quick. Yeah? Yeah? Hold on, we gotta wait till we come out of combat. Alright, so yeah. Anti-magic shell is usually only 5 seconds. I thought it was like 8 seconds. I don't know, like, I'm confused. Anyways, guys, so yeah, so it makes it last 10 seconds. 10 seconds pretty beast, not gonna lie. 10 seconds is a very long anti-magic shell. I don't know why I think it lasts like 8 seconds. I don't know. It just sounded like it was better. It just, yeah, give me that 10-second AMS, guys. Oh my gosh, casters would be complaining everywhere. So yeah, that ability is an alright ability. I'd have to say it heals you up, better consistency PvP wise, and it'll also greatly help you in PvP. But now we're gonna get into some of the better legendary items that I'm definitely looking forward to. In comparison to those ones. So first thing we're going to go over is the Helm. This one's called Perseverance of the Ebon Martyr. And basically, Howling Blast deals 40% increased damage to enemies affected by Remorseless Winter. I mean, you could actually play this item out quite a bit more. When it comes to dealing AoE pressure and stuff, that's going to be insane when you're bursting. But what you can do, of course, is go with the elongated version of Remorseless Winter to actually get the ability off this, more. So this is actually going to enhance your burst, PvE, PvP, anything you're doing, guys, quite a bit. So Remorseless Winter is going to come up. You're going to throw out your big damage, and all those Howling Blast procs, because you're basically going to be spamming Obliterate, all those Howling Blast procs are going to deal 40% more damage. And as we already know, those Howling Blast procs hit for roughly around 200k as it is. So 40% more, it's going to hit around 300, about 280 to about 300k Howling Blast procs when you got that running. Of course, that's during the stun. And with breath rolling, you may be throwing in Centrigo's Fury, things like that. But it's going to cause your burst to actually hit a lot harder. And of course, in PvE, it's going to cause you to peak a lot higher numbers, especially in AoE situations. So that's definitely one of the items I'm excited for using when it comes to Legion legendaries. Let's go ahead and go over the ring here. Now this one, no, not ring, this is wrist. Now this one is really strong, I'd have to say, guys, because basically it makes it so whenever your Pillar of Frost is activated, it makes you deal 20% more frost damage. That's amazing, guys, because you're already getting the strength proc. Of course, it's gonna be up every minute when you burst, so it's gonna be basically a minute cooldown that you get with this legendary item to deal extra damage, extra frost damage. So you come in, you're applying all your stuff, you're about to go ham, you're about to throw out your breath, boom, you throw out your breath. I don't have breath up right now, so obviously we can't. But of course, we have Pillar of Frost activated, which is gonna cause us to deal 20% more frost damage. I'd have to say, out of the legendary items, guys, this one and probably the next one is the one I'm looking forward to the most. This one will increase your DPS probably the longest, since it's going to be, like the longest damage buff out of most of the items. Maybe not the next one. It really matters how well that one's going to proc, but of course we'll go over that too. But this item is really amazing. Of course, there's no proc chance. It comes up whenever you burst. Very reliable. And I really do enjoy that wrist legendary right there. I'll probably be looking for that one. And of course, we got our next one. Let's go ahead and talk about that. We got Kotira's Newfound Will. So go ahead and equip that. It's a belt, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So basically, this item, Obliterate, has a 15% chance to generate 2 runes. Now, guys, if we have the breath spec like we do have right now when Legion drops, and of course we have Horn of Winter and Hungering Rune Weapon with this legendary item. Oh gosh, guys, like the breath has a potential, I can imagine, to be a minute 30 to 2 minutes long with a really geared raider who has a lot of haste using this belt. And of course, they have to get quite a bit lucky because it's a 15% chance, but 15% is quite a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up our burst here and have some fun with this item. I really do want to test it out. Throwing up some damage here, throwing in more obliterates. If we generate like 2 obliterates during any part of our slight downtime, I just got 2 right there. It's going to cause our breath to last a lot longer. It looks like I didn't get any there. I'm going to have to throw Hungering Rune Weapon pretty early just to make sure we keep up breath. And we're going to cap off our runic power again, as you can see. Keeping that up, I just generated a couple extra runes right there. And then this is basically allowing us to keep capped on runic power for quite a while. We're going to hit a slight downtime right here. I was hoping for a proc right in this area. Looks like I'll have Horn of Winter to barely get us through this part. And trying to keep in damage. Looks like we got a couple runes there. Amazing runes. Oh, that's not half bad. I have to say this breath, all in all, was short in comparison to a lot of the breaths I can do. That one was only about 49 to about 50 seconds. It can definitely get a lot higher if you're lucky. Obviously, with this belt, you could get very lucky and keep that breath going for just an amazing amount of time when it comes to PvE or PvP and World PvP. So that item right there, it has the potential to be crazy, just absolutely crazy if you're lucky with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the last item we got here. It is another finger. Now this one's also going to be enhancing your burst when it comes to using Breath of Sindragosa. Now this ring right here is basically going to make sure Empowered Rune Weapon gains 1 additional charge and recharges 5% faster. Now, I could definitely see that. So that means you're gaining 2 runes instead of 1 rune every 1.5 seconds. And it's going to be 5% faster, so it's going to proc a little faster. So that's going to be pretty cool. Plus, we get the small amount of runic power also from it that generates towards our breath. So, I mean, it's easy usually when we throw up our Hungry Rune Weapon to cap back up on runic power and then fall back down. With this, you might be able to actually elongate the breath a little bit and go for maybe longer, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to see on that. Has a 285-minute recharge. It usually has a, isn't it like a 5-minute recharge? Hold on, let me take this off. Pretty sure it's a 5-minute recharge. No, it's only a 3-minute recharge. Okay, 3-minute recharge. It used to be 5. All right, so that's cool. So we got a 3-minute recharge on that. Now when you're using it, of course, it's only a 286, which isn't an absolutely amazing, it isn't really an amazing change right there, but I have to say the change to the ability definitely is what's going to make it better. Oh, I've misread this ability altogether. Holy crap, I sound like an idiot right now. Completely misread it. I was sitting here looking at it being like, it's showing 1 charge. That could only mean one thing. I completely misread this item. And I'm going to correct myself right now. What this item does is actually literally gives you an extra charge of Empowered Rune Weapon. This extra charge of Empowered Rune Weapon, of course, it comes off CD faster. But when you have 2 charges of Empowered Rune Weapon, imagine the elongation that we are now able to bring our breath to. Like, there are multiple items that are definitely going to enhance our breath. This is definitely going to be one of them. Wow, I can't believe I looked over that. Like, so easily, and then all of a sudden it hit me. I was like, why does that have a charge? Holy cow, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna go for breath here with this item. This is gonna be intense. This is gonna be really intense, right? I'm gonna throw out Horn right there, generate a couple extra runes, going out for those obliterates. Of course, we're not generating any extra major obliterates. We're gonna throw out our first Empowered Rune Weapon right here and generate back up to full runic power and keep this breath going. I think with this we should be able to hit like a minute-long breath without a problem. I'm thinking it should be pretty easy. Gonna keep these runes on cooldown right now so they can generate back up a little faster. There we go. And we're going to hit some downtime right here. I got Horn of Winter. I probably should have procced that faster. I think I can keep up our breath right here. Yeah, we're barely keeping up. Going to pop the next Empowered Rune Weapon and put our breath back over the top. Going to throw up another Remorseless Winter. Using those Howling Blast procs. Going to throw in more Obliterates. Right now, we're sitting at 55-second breath right now. We're going to be able to pop basically another Pillar of Frost while this is activated. Throwing up another Pillar of Frost. We just broke a minute on this breath. We may actually go a little bit longer. We may not get lucky enough to do it. Yeah, here we go. We got Horn of Winter back up. We're throwing up Horn of Winter, going back into the regen rotation. We're going to make it fall off at this point. Let's see how long this breath lasted for. I'd have to say this is going to be my favorite item out of all the legendaries is this last one. And all right, so let's check this out. All right, so our breath on that one lasted about a minute and about 30, no, I'd say about 27, 25 seconds. So that's like a minute and a half with that item. That was literally the best breath out of everything we got. That was the best burst. That was insane. Of course, it's not going to have the consistency of some of the other ones, like while Pillar Frost is active, you do 20% increased frost damage. This one, of course, is going to give you like a extra Hungering Rune weapon for an elongated burst. Now, the cool thing about these guys is they're going to be such a low drop chance. Collecting all of them is probably going to be pretty hard. So you'll see a lot of Frost DKs that have different legendary items based off of RNG, of course, mainly applying in World PvP and, of course, PvE, that are going to greatly affect how they play their character, which... that's amazing right there. The fact that legendary items could change how you spec your character and play the character based off of the amount of damage they deal and their equipped effect. Now, this one is easily my favorite. It's Seal of Necrophantasia. Wow, what a name on that one. Easily, that one's going to be my favorite. Just putting that out there, guys. It could also be used since it has 2 charges as a generation for runic power for healing. Let's say you're fighting a rogue in World PvP now, guys. Open your mind up for this one. This one's going to blow your mind. All right, one of the problems we have with fighting rogues in World PvP is breaking out of their opener and kiting them out. Now, we can use Trinket on that. It's going to hurt us quite a bit, and we're going to kite out. One of the problems is you can't hit a rogue. They're either going to dodge or they're going to be cloaking, so you can't generate runic power. So with 2 Hungry Rune weapons, you're going to actually be able to slap your face on that Hungry Rune weapon when he opens up, generate a ton of runic power, wait a little bit, throw up IBF at the end when he probably either reopens or he's trying to run away, and full heal. That's going to give you a great amount of healing, a great amount of survival. And after that, after a rogue's opener, is when you can actually burst on him and go for kills. Since he can't dodge our breath, he can't dodge Syndricoza, he can't dodge all that elemental damage. He's already used Cloak off that opener, and that could be in a world of hurt and actually change the way 1v1 fights go just based on these legendary items. Really looking forward to see what a lot of the other classes legendaries are. I may look at some of the other ones, guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to cover on Holy or the other classes that I play. Anyways, guys, just go ahead, and that's going to be it for this video and the legendaries. Go ahead and slap a like on this video if you enjoyed. Until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.